Hi, guys. I wanted to come on this afternoon and talk to you about patience. I just did a post on my Instagram about patience, about running into a couple of people while I was out doing errands today. And these incidents were why I started thinking about patience, and patience is so important in obedience and when you live with dogs. But the first one that happened was I was backing out of my parking spot, and this is a huge pet peeve of mine. I can't stand it because I don't know how many times it's happened to me where I'm backing out, and I am one of those people. My car does not have a backup camera. No, it doesn't. Um, so I'm completely turned around when I back up. I can totally see who's coming, and about three-quarters of the way out of my parking spot, somebody zips behind me, blaring their horn, and pulls into their parking spot after they get past me. So I have jammed on my brakes. My adrenaline is rushing, and I'm fuming. The next one was someone who didn't stop at a stop sign when I was leaving the parking lot, the same parking lot, and they ran their stop sign and just about slammed into me. And the next one was me leaving the actual parking lot, and there was a guy behind me, and I was at the lights waiting, watching the lights. And as soon as it turned green, I went to hit the gas to go, and he was already honking at me. I wasn't going fast enough. So that was three that I ran into in just the same parking lot. But it really made me think about how important patience is in our life, especially nowadays, and with regards to obedience. A lot of people who have been training with the conventional method of obedience or are just switching over, they're new to positive reinforcement, they never heard of such things. And um, I have got a lot of feedback that it's so much, it takes so long. You need to have so much patience. And it is true. You have to have patience because it's more positive reinforcement training versus conventional choke collar type training. You have to use your brain. You have to think through things. You have to give your dog time to react, to respond. Um, so it definitely takes a lot of patience on our part. When we're training our dogs new behaviors, we have to, or modifying behaviors like patience, like they want to have their dinner and we want them to sit before they have their dinner. We're asking them to have patience. Just get it together, have some patience, get a grip, control yourself, impulse control, and then you'll be able to eat. That's all we're asking for. So patience is a virtue. It totally is. I think I have a lot of patience. I try to have a lot of patience. Of course, we can always, be better at everything in our lives. And that's something that I work really hard at, is having a great deal of patience. When somebody's in, right now, this is where we really need, I just thought of one thing where you need a lot of patience. When we go in stores, a lot of stores now have these arrows, and you have to go one way. You're not supposed to go the opposite way direction of the arrow. So several times somebody's been in front of me and they're looking at something on a shelf, and they're taking excuse me, they're taking their time. It's taking them forever. One time that just comes to mind is a woman was in front of me at Trader Joe's, a grocery store, and she was looking at salmon, and she was literally picking up every single package of salmon. I couldn't get past her. I just had to wait. And so that kind of thing, you could get mad, fume around, yell at the lady. Um, but I try not to. I try to just, give myself enough time so I'm not in a panic rush to do anything. And so in all my life, in all aspects of my life, I'm trying to be more patient, and it is um, a very important thing to be patient. And if you look at your day to day, are you a patient person? Could you be more patient? Are you patient with your dog? I know when I introduce positive reinforcement to people who have been an instant gratification trainer, like yank and choke, and your dog's doing something, you yank on them and they're supposed to stop. The same with a pinch or a prong collar. It immediately hurts, so they stop. Whereas if you're trying to modify a behavior, and the best way to modify a behavior or teach a new behavior is to break it down into baby steps, then you require more patience, because you're not only teaching or modifying one thing, you're breaking it down into little bits of success. So in our world these days, it's everything is crazy, and patience is really required. And when I can't go out for, I was probably out doing errands for an hour and a half, and I ran into, I'm going to say 5 or 6 instances where the person who was interacting with me needed more patience. The guy who was dying to get by me to get into his parking spot, it would have taken him 20 seconds longer to let me get out of my spot, instead of trying to squeeze behind me and having me jam on my brakes because he came out of nowhere. The guy honking at me when I was going as soon as the light was green, but that wasn't even fast enough for him. We have enough nowadays to stress about. If we just implement some patience into our lives, in every aspect of our lives, it can only be better. So that's my little rant on patience this afternoon. So let's all work on just having more patience, and the world will be a better place for everyone involved, including our dogs. Have a great one.